People will leave, but they usually find their way back into our lives. One of those unanticipated patterns that can surprise us. Friends, ex-lovers, even old neighbors. One day they are here in our lives, and the next they appear to evaporate, carried away by life's events, misinterpretation, or simply the passage of time. Just when you think they vanish forever, they resurface as if drawn back by an unseen force. While everyone comes back into our lives for various reasons, often it stems from personal growth, remorse, or the understanding that their presence was more valuable than they initially understood. Many times, people returning into your life have matured or changed in ways that inspire them to rethink the relationships they once let slide. After all, time has a way of clarifying things. It provides the time for introspection and varied viewpoint analysis. Perhaps they were preoccupied by employment and new connections or personal problems. Perhaps they were not ready for the kind of partnership you presented. Whatever the cause, time passes, and in that passage they come to see what really counts. They therefore discover their path back. Sometimes people come back after disappointment or hurt with others. Life doesn't always go as planned, and the new relationships they believe would be intriguing and rewarding could prove to be superficial or transient. When such ties sour, people often consider the real connections they had in the past. Looking back on their time together, they perceive something real, a connection or relationship with depth and honesty. These are the times when they come to see the value of what they once had and yearn to rediscover it. Loss can sometimes draw people back into your life. Whether it's emotional, occupational, or a change in conditions, loss grounds us and makes us pause and consider what really counts. Perhaps they went through a breakup, had a life-changing event, or felt the sting of loneliness. During such sensitive times, they recall the solace, comfort, and kindness you gave them. They might reach out, yearning for that familiar sensation of protection, and realizing only you offered it. Regret is also a strong force that frequently brings people back. Sometimes people depart in search of what they think will be better, only to find they have lost something special along the way. They understand they've been running after fantasies. What they had with you is priceless. They begin to regret not working harder to preserve the relationship, or perhaps not fully appreciating what they had. People often return as that regret grows, hoping for a second opportunity, a fresh start, or just to atone for past transgressions. Still, just because someone returns does not imply everything will miraculously come together. When people come back, it's important to consider why they left in the first place and whether the problems that drove the distance have been fixed. Not only for them, but also for you. Letting go of past wounds and conflicts creates room for a fresh, better dynamic. This involves learning from the past and evaluating whether the relationship is worth rekindling, not forgetting what happened. Sometimes people come back just because they find solace in you. They know you, they trust you, and they go for the known when life becomes difficult or uncertain. Sometimes it's just about wanting to be with someone who understands you. It's not necessarily about wonderful love or a flash insight. In these situations, you could find yourself serving as an emotional anchor, the consistent presence people can rely on when everything else seems disorganizing. People can also come back, though, depending on your change. It could be your growth, successes, or confidence that holds them back. Their inspiration to reconnect comes from the distance you have traveled. They see that you have changed into someone they respect or love, and your transformation may draw them back into your life. In the end, someone returning into your life is a decision moment. Do you keep them at a distance or greet them with wide arms? Do you allow the relationship to remain a memory or rebuild it? The answers depend on your degree of transformation, as well as whether the relationship is worth continuing. Sometimes these meetings lead to wonderful second chances, a new chapter where you're stronger, wiser, and better for each other. Other times, they act as a subdued reminder of the initial reasons the distance was required. People will come back into your life at the end of the day, either after learning their own lessons, after experiencing disappointment, or once they have matured enough to value their past experiences with you. Although time affects everything, you decide how or if they fit into your future. Your answer helps to define the following chapter. After all, you may decide who stays in your narrative.